Hello there. I would like to greet everyone a Merry Christmas. Unfortunately, I can't celebrate just yet, as I'm doing this project. If ever this monstrosity shows up in class, I hope you had a nice vacation. Even though it was short. Anyways, let's just get started, shall we?
The Last Emperor is a film released in 1987 which tells the story of Puyi, the final emperor of China, before it became a republic completely. It is directed by Italian director and screenwriter Leonardo Bertolucci. The way of how the film tells the former emperor's story is by presenting series of flashbacks as Puyi remembers them during his time serving in a prison in China. The movie begins in the form of a scene of war criminals arriving in a prison in China, including Puyi. Puyi was thrown into prison for betraying his country during the Second World War. In the prison, he attempts to commit suicide by cutting his wrists and rinsing them in hot water in a sink. But then, the prison governor stops him. As he starts his time serving in prison, from then on, he starts to remember his life by the movie showing scenes of flashbacks. Starting in 1908, when young Puyi was declared as Emperor of 10,000 years by Empress Dowager. Puyi was only 2 or 3 years old when he was crowned emperor in the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the 2nd of December, 1908. When I first knew this, I kind of felt bad for young Puyi being emperor at such a young age. I thought that a child being assigned to such a high position or role, like being an emperor, could be a lot of pressure. Though it's a good thing that the servants have treated the young Puyi as a kid and made him happy. After a few years, he has been getting used to his life as an emperor, and at that time, Puyi's family arrives, and his brother, Puche, stayed in the Forbidden City with Puyi to keep him company. In the film, while Puyi shows Puche around the Forbidden City, he tells him experiences and perks of being emperor, including punishing servants for his mistakes instead of being him being punished. Puyi's life as an emperor could be nice and all, but do you think that there's a reason for that? Other than him being an emperor of China, there could be another reason why he has been in that kind of lifestyle. In 1912, Puyi formally abdicates and stays on his throne as China outside the walls of the Forbidden City becomes a republic. Puyi was not allowed outside of the Forbidden City. He was treated well enough as being emperor. Why? I noticed this, and it could be the servants or the eunuchs' idea. It was their idea to hide the fact from Puyi that he is no longer the emperor of China, but only the emperor inside the Forbidden City. And to proceed to that plan, the servants treated the emperor well to distract Puyi and keep him away from the truth. Though Puyi still learned about him only having the Forbidden City under his rule. The Xinhai Revolution successfully overthrows the Qing dynasty. China became a republic, and Puyi was abdicated to be an emperor of only the Forbidden City. A Scottish tutor named Reginald Johnston was hired to become a tutor of Puyi in 1919. He was hired to help him learn about Europe and the world behind the Forbidden City's walls. And when Puyi was 17, he has chosen who will be his wife. She was named as Wan Jun, and the secondary consort, who is Wan Xun, who later leaves Puyi and Wan Jun years later and was never to be seen again. Puyi and others were to leave the Forbidden City ordered by the Japanese. With Wan Jun and Wan Shu, Puyi took residence within Tianjin, having a grand old time having rich lifestyles. Puyi was known as Henry and Wan Jun as Elizabeth. At that time was also when Wan Shu left. In 1934, Puyi has been declared as Emperor of Japanese's puppet state, Manchukuo, also called Manchuria. But he wasn't aware of the Japanese plan of only using him, and a part of their plan is making Puyi Emperor of their puppet state. Seeing Puyi being crowned emperor as a child, the Xinhai Revolution throwing off the Qing dynasty, and Puyi being an emperor of Manchukuo only because the Japanese were using him, Puyi in the film was like a pawn in the movie, in my opinion. It was like he didn't get to have a say to the things happening around him or to him. He didn't try to get away from the things that he needed to do. He just does them without any careful thought and only accepts them. Even though they didn't really ask for Puyi's comment or permission, I think Puyi should be thinking carefully about choices or decisions that he has to make. Like when he gladly accepted to be Emperor of Manchukuo or Manchuria, he didn't think of it much or even worked up a sweat, and he only accepted it because he wanted. 1945. The World War II has occurred and the Japanese have lost. Hui was then captured by Russian troops. After the series of flashbacks, Hui was released from prison in 1959 after serving for 10 years. He spent his time taking care of plants in the botanical gardens of Beijing. While going around the town with a bicycle, Hui sees a parade in which he saw the former prison governor, all tied up and guarded up front. Seeing the governor in such a way, he asked one of the people in the parade about what's going on and why the governor has been that way. One said that the governor was an enemy of the revolution, and the parade is a way of humiliating him for what he has done. The Forbidden City has become a museum. Hui visits the place as a tourist and went into the throne room in which the dragon throne was located, and a child saw him. Hui told the kid that he was an emperor, and to prove it, he went over the throne and reached under the seat to get the same container where the cricket was. The cricket was given to him by a eunuch when he was a child. As Hui shows the kid the container, the cricket crawls out, leaving the child amused. 20 years later, in the throne room comes in many tourists as a tour guide explains to them about the history of the throne room. If you want to know about the final emperor of China, you can watch this movie. I think it explains the details good enough, though the director may have portrayed Hui's life differently than his actual personal life, so I can suggest that you do thorough research as well. I enjoyed the movie, but not too much. I can say that I am in the middle, but I did take interest in the topic of the movie. It showed Hui's way of life, and the film helped me learn about the last emperor of China. I'm hoping that we will have another film viewing in class again soon.
It's the dream.